Hey everyone, welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're diving into wealth building today.
Ooh, yeah, always a good one.
Definitely something a lot of you are interested in.
For sure.
One of you sent in this YouTube video, The Windows of Wealth and Cash Flow by Myron Golden.
Okay.
Have you seen this one?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's really interesting. The way he uses this analogy of like an accident at a busy intersection.
Right.
Everyone sees the same event, but their like interpretation of it totally depends on like where they were standing.
I like that.
Yeah.
So how does that relate to money though?
So he's arguing that we all view wealth creation through different windows.
Yeah.
And those windows determine our financial outcomes.
Interesting.
Yeah, he calls this the window of wealth.
Okay.
And it's a 4-paned window.
Okay.
Each pane represents a different mindset.
All right, let's break it down. Pane number one, what do we got?
Pane number 1 is Hajj, and this is the classic job mindset.
Go.
So this is like the person who believes that a job, any job, is the only way to make money.
Even if it makes them miserable.
Oh yeah, I know a Hajjer too.
Right. We've probably all been there.
Yeah, for sure.
Feeling stuck in a job we don't like, but thinking we have no other options.
Right.
Myron Golden actually tells a personal story in the video
Oh really?
about quitting his job after this like terrible experience with his bosses.
Okay.
He felt so disrespected and stuck that he like vowed to never be in that position again.
That's a powerful realization.
Yeah.
Like it makes you question, is a job really the only way?
Exactly.
Not to say that all jobs are bad,
Right.
but just that maybe we shouldn't settle for a job that doesn't align with like our goals.
Totally. Or our values.
Yeah,
Just because we think it's the only way to earn a living.
totally.
Yeah.
So then we come to pane number 2.
Pane number 2 is OJ, owning a job.
Owning a job.
Interesting.
Yeah, so this is the person who is fed up with working for someone else.
Oh,
They decide to start their own business.
okay.
But instead of finding freedom, they end up working even longer hours.
They're a slave to their own company.
So they traded one boss for 100 clients.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And without systems in place to like automate and delegate,
Yeah.
it's just a self-created job with more demands.
And less security, probably.
Right. And Myron Golden says this great thing.
What's that?
He says, there are people who love doing the aspects of your business you hate.
Oh, that's so true.
Isn't it?
It's a good reminder that delegating isn't just about freeing up your time.
Right.
It's about leveraging other people's strengths to actually grow your business.
Totally. Like, think about it. Are you an OJ in disguise?
Ooh, good question.
Are you so caught up in doing everything yourself that you're missing opportunities to scale and create more freedom?
That's something to think about for sure. Okay, so what's next?
Pane number 3.
All right, pane number 3. Hit me with it.
This is where things start to get exciting. OS. Owning a system.
Rooney and the Sis.
Yes, this is the shift from trading your time for money
Okay,
to building systems that generate income without your constant involvement,
now we're talking.
right? So instead of you doing all the work, you create a system that works for you.
Even while you're sleeping.
Exactly. He gives the example of his own YouTube channel.
Okay.
He started by committing to one video a week, gradually increased the frequency, and built a team to help with like recording, editing, posting.
Small.
Now it's a system that generates passive income and allows him to reach a wider audience.
I love it. It's all about leverage.
Yeah.
You're not limited by the number of hours you can work because you've created a system that multiplies your efforts.
Exactly. And this applies to so many areas of life, not just business.
Oh, yeah.
Think about systems for managing your finances, your household, even your health.
Oh, that's a good one.
Where could you implement systems to create more efficiency and free up your time and energy?
Lots of places, I'm sure. Okay, on to the final pane.
SMS. So money seeds.
So money seeds, I like it. What's that all about?
This is where wealth creation kicks into high gear. You've built systems that generate income, and now you're reinvesting those profits to create even more wealth.
Like planting seeds that grow into money trees.
Exactly. But this stage requires a different mindset,
How so?
because building these systems often requires an upfront investment of time and money
Right.
without immediate returns.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of people get stuck.
Exactly. We're so conditioned to expect regular paychecks that we struggle with delayed gratification.
It's like we're wired for instant results, but true wealth creation often requires patience.
Totally. And a long-term vision.
Yeah.
Think about entrepreneurs like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
They endured years of losses before their companies took off.
Right.
They were playing the long game, focused on building something truly valuable.
That's a powerful reminder that success doesn't happen overnight. It takes vision, resilience, and a willingness to invest in the future.
For sure.
Now, I know Myron Golden also talks about this concept of cash flow patterns of the rich.
He does. He compares our finances to a financial house with 4 windows.
Interesting, okay.
Income producing assets.
Okay.
Wealth reducing liabilities, and outgo.
All right, and the size of each window reflects different financial mindsets.
Yeah, like the poor mindset focuses primarily on outgo.
Just paying bills, basically.
Right. The middle class mindset gets caught up in wealth reducing liabilities.
Like debt and keeping up with the Joneses.
Exactly. But the rich mindset, they focus on maximizing the income producing assets window.
So all about those IPAs.
Exactly.
Okay, well, I'm really interested to hear more about that.
Me too.
So we'll have to dive into IPAs and the financial house and the next part of our dip dive.
Sounds good.
I'm excited to keep learning from Myron Golden's wisdom.
Me too.
All right, we'll be back soon for part 2 of this deep dive, so stay tuned.
See you then. Welcome back.
All right, so last time we were talking about how different mindsets influence how we approach wealth.
Right.
And we touched on that analogy of the financial house.
Yes, with those 4 windows.
Right, and how the wealthy, they tend to prioritize maximizing that income-producing assets window.
Exactly what Myron calls IPAs.
So let's dive into IPAs. What are some real-world examples?
So basically, IPAs are things that generate income, often without requiring your constant involvement.
Okay,
They work for you even while you're sleeping.
I like to sound that.
Right. One example he talks about is rental property.
Okay,
It generates consistent income through rent payments, and over time, the property value increases.
so you benefit from the appreciation too.
Exactly.
Real estate, that's a classic example.
Yeah, but what if you don't have the capital to invest in property?
Right,
There are other options.
like what?
Well, Myron actually points out that his YouTube channel is also an IPA.
Oh, interesting.
It generates income through ad sponsorships,
Yeah.
and as the channel grows, its value increases too.
So an online business can be a powerful IPA.
Absolutely.
It's not just about brick and mortar anymore.
Right, websites, online courses, a strong social media presence, those can all be IPAs.
And those can be started with a lot less upfront investment than something like a rental property.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got real estate online businesses. What else?
He also mentions investing in the stock market.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Your money is making you money even while you sleep through dividends and appreciation in stock value.
Okay, but the stock market can be kind of intimidating.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Do you need to be a financial expert to get started?
Right.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
There are tons of resources available, books, courses, even financial advisors who can guide you.
That's good to know.
The key is to be proactive and educate yourself.
Do your research.
Exactly.
I also noticed that Myron talks a lot about building a team.
He does. He says he has a team of people who support his various businesses.
Right.
That allows him to focus on his strengths and delegate tasks to others who might be more skilled in certain areas.
That's smart delegation.
Yeah, it's all about scalability. You can't do everything yourself if you want to grow exponentially.
Right, it frees you up to think bigger.
Exactly.
So for someone just starting out, how do you begin to build your own IPA portfolio?
Well, he doesn't give a step-by-step guide in this video, but he does emphasize the importance of shifting your mindset from a consumer to a producer.
Interesting. What does that mean?
Instead of just spending your money, you need to start thinking about how you can use your money to generate more money.
So changing your relationship with money.
Exactly. Viewing it as a tool to create more.
And that often requires delaying gratification.
It does. Building IPAs takes time and effort.
You might not see those immediate returns.
Right, but the long-term payoff can be significant.
It's like planting a seed.
Exactly. Nurture it, be patient, and then eventually you'll reap the rewards.
He also encourages viewers to identify their passions and skills.
He does. What are you good at? What do you enjoy doing?
It could offer clues to potential IPA opportunities.
Like if you're passionate about baking, maybe you could start a small catering business.
Or create an online baking course.
Exactly. Or if you're a skilled writer, maybe you could offer freelance writing services.
Or even publish your own ebooks.
Right. It's about thinking creatively and looking for ways to leverage your existing talents and interests.
And you don't need a ton of capital to begin building IPAs.
You can start small.
Like invest a small amount of money regularly in a low-cost index fund.
Right. Or launch a side hustle in your spare time.
Even starting small can lead to significant growth over time.
For sure, Myron's own journey is a testament to that.
He didn't become a successful entrepreneur overnight.
It took years of hard work, dedication, and a relentless focus on building IPAs.
So it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It requires patience, persistence, and a willingness to invest in yourself and your future.
Well said. All right, so in the final part of our deep dive, we'll explore some practical tips for identifying and evaluating those potential IPAs.
Sounds good.
And we'll leave you with some thought-provoking questions to help you apply these principles to your own life.
Can't wait.
Stay with us. Okay, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into the windows of wealth and cash flow.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have. We've talked about Myron's insightful analogies.
Right, like the financial house.
Exactly. And we've delved into all those different types of income-producing assets, those IPAs.
Now let's get practical.
Yeah.
If you're ready to start building your own IPA portfolio, where do you even begin?
That's the million-dollar question.
What should you consider when you're evaluating those potential investments?
All right, Myron doesn't give us a specific checklist in the video, does he?
Not really. But he does highlight some core principles that can really guide our decision-making.
Okay, so where do we start?
Well, one of the first things to consider is risk versus reward.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Higher potential returns often come with higher risk.
Right, you got to be comfortable with the possibility of losing some money.
Exactly. It's all about understanding your own risk tolerance.
Like, are you okay with maybe losing a little to potentially gain a lot?
Or do you prefer a more conservative approach?
Right, some people are more risk averse.
And that's totally fine.
You wouldn't jump out of a plane without a parachute.
That's a good analogy.
And you shouldn't jump into an investment without understanding the potential risks.
Right? Do your due diligence. Don't just jump into any opportunity that sounds good.
Research thoroughly, understand the market.
And if you need to seek advice from trusted experts.
Get a second opinion.
Exactly.
So what else should we be thinking about when evaluating potential IPAs?
Diversification is key.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right. Spread your investments across different asset classes
To mitigate risk.
and create a more balanced portfolio. Myron's own portfolio is a good example.
How so?
He has real estate, a YouTube channel, investments in the stock market.
He's got it all.
That diversity helps protect him if one particular investment performs poorly.
So if one thing takes a dip,
You've got other investments to cushion the fall.
it's like a safety net.
Exactly.
It's also important to think about the time horizon of your investments.
Absolutely. Are you looking for short-term gains?
Or are you building long-term wealth?
Your investment strategy will be different depending on your goals.
So if I need money quickly, I might choose a different investment than if I'm saving for retirement. It seems like Myron is really a big advocate for the long game.
He's in building systems and assets that generate passive income over time.
Rather than chasing quick profits.
It's about creating a sustainable source of income that continues to grow.
Yeah, he seems really passionate about that idea of freedom.
He is. He talks about how financial freedom allowed him to quit his job
Right.
and create a life on his own terms.
He really emphasizes that true wealth isn't just about the money itself.
It's about the choices and opportunities that financial security provides.
The freedom to pursue your passions.
Spend time with loved ones.
Maybe even make a positive impact on the world.
Exactly. So as you're considering different IPAs,
Okay.
think about how they align with your overall life goals.
That's a good point.
Will this investment bring you closer to the freedom and fulfillment you desire?
Will it help you create the life you want to live?
Big questions.
They are. As we wrap up this deep dive, any final thoughts for our listeners as they embark on their own wealth-building journey?
I think it's important to remember that building wealth is a personal journey.
There's no one-size-fits-all approach.
What works for Myron might not work for everyone.
Right. Everyone's different.
The key is to learn from his insights, adapt them to your own circumstances, and find what resonates with you.
So take what you've learned.
Experiment. Create a plan that works for you.
And don't be afraid to try new things and adjust your strategy as you go.
Most importantly, enjoy the journey.
Building wealth should be an empowering and fulfilling experience.
It's not just about the destination, it's about the growth and learning that happens along the way.
Well said. I hope this deep dive has given you some valuable insights and inspiration
Me too.
to start building your own financial house and creating a life of abundance and purpose.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.
See you next time.